Okay, so what driver have I gone for? I have gone for the new Ping G430 Max 10K driver. I'm a big fan of Ping drivers. I've always had Ping drivers. Obviously all the manufacturers make good drivers now, but I've always found Ping to just get that kind of balance between distance and forgiveness. Absolutely right, more on the forgiveness side. So I've seen some amazing reviews for this driver. Now my old driver, which is the Ping G425 Max, I absolutely love this driver. So you're probably asking, why would I change a driver that I'm perfectly happy with and hitting really well? Well, I do like to freshen up my bag at the start of each season. Can't really give you a good reason for that, but I just think it's a good thing. I think it gets your golfing juices going. And when I saw the reviews on this driver, I just thought I need to give that a go. So the one thing I have noticed straight away is that the face, although they're both Max drivers, the face on the G430 Max is a little bit shallower. So I might just have to think about my tee height. Used to tee the 425 up really, really high. So with this one, I might have to tee it down a little bit, but we'll see. Let's go out and give it its very first hit and see what the first impressions are. Okay, so we're on the second tee. I haven't used it on the first hole because I wanted to at least have a couple of swings before hitting it. Now obviously we're on the winter tee here. It's a very cold winter's day, so I'm not going to pay much attention to how far this goes if I hit it well. But yeah, it's always a very exciting time hitting a new club for the first time, but especially a driver. Now I have pegged it down a little bit because this shallower face, I'm just thinking that it probably needs to be teed down a little bit, but we'll obviously find that out more as we kind of use it a bit more. But okay, let's give it a go. Oh my goodness. Honestly, that was out, absolutely. You know what? I think the first shot with a driver, I actually think it's really important, because when you hit a really good one straight off the bat, it just gets things off on the right step and just builds confidence straight away. That's just gone bullet straight, and it didn't have a hint of fade or draw on it. It just went dead straight right down the middle. Also the sound, I prefer the sound to the G425, which has got that really sort of like loud tinny sound that sounds like you're hitting a saucepan. But wow, okay, let's hit another one. Same again, please. Oh my goodness, that's exactly the same. Just down a bit more down the right hand side of the fairway, but still, considering first two shots, absolutely delighted with that. So one thing just to briefly talk about, which is different between the 425 and the 430, is that the 425 had movable weights and the 430 Max 10K doesn't have any movable weights. Now, I've got to say, I'm not a big believer in movable weights and what they actually achieve. I've never really moved mine when I've had a driver with movable weights. At the end of the day, your club face in relation to your swing path will dictate what your shot shape is, and I'm just not a believer that moving a 10 gram, 15 gram, whatever it might be, weight is actually going to make much difference, you know, to something that is really dictated by your swing path. So it doesn't bother me that the 430 doesn't have any movable weights. Okay, so although it's absolutely friggin' freezing today, we're a bit later on in the round, and my swing is sort of loosened up a little bit more, so let's give it another bash. It's quite a tight tee shot, this one. Okay, I do love the way it looks behind the ball. Oh my, honestly, I mean, that was a little bit necky, but it's just gone bullet straight down the middle with just a little bit of fade because I hit it out the heel a little bit. So, all in all, got some good feels with its first outing today. I mean, the other thing to sort of quickly mention is that this is actually the first time I've played in 3 months. So I'm never going to be swinging it my best. So taking all of those things into consideration, I'm really pleased. Oh, that tastes good. Okay, so it's now 2 weeks after filming all of the footage that you've just watched in this video. So I've had a little bit more time to use this driver, and I've got to say that I am extremely happy and very impressed. And the main reason for that is around the forgiveness of this driver. I can't say, I can't look you in the eye now and tell you that this is going any further than my previous driver or any other driver on the market. It's impossible for me to say because at the moment, the conditions that I'm hitting this driver in, it's wet, there's no run, the air is extremely cold, the ball isn't flying very far in the cold conditions, so it's very difficult for me to say anything about that. But one thing I can say for sure is that the forgiveness on this driver is an absolute joke. And I don't say that lightly. I've stood on a tee and I've put 2 or 3 balls down and I've buttoned one out the middle and then I've hit one out the heel. So my miss is always in the heel. I very rarely hit it out the toe. So, I always get like a heely fade with my slight miss hit. And like when I put one out the middle and I've hit one of my heely fades and I've got down there, it's like 10 yards behind the one that less than 10 yards than the one that I hit really well. The forgiveness on this driver is really astonishing, and that's the one thing that I can safely say to you, that if you're looking for a new driver and forgiveness is something that's really important to you, then you will not go wrong with this new G430 Max 10K. It really is astonishing. I didn't get fitted up for this, I just bought it in exactly the same spec as my previous driver, the same shaft, the same flex, the same loft. I do like the sound of it a lot better. The sound of the strike is a lot better than the previous one because that was like a really tinny sound. I mean, I got used to it, but it wasn't a great sound. This one sounds a lot better. But yeah, I would highly recommend, if you are in the market or thinking of a new driver, to go to a demo day, go to a fitting centre, go and have a go with this driver because it really is that good. I've noticed everyone else who's done reviews on this video are also saying amazing things about this driver. We all can't be wrong. There's got to be something in it. So I'm absolutely, excited about using it this season. In 5 weeks' time, I'm going out to see my brother in Florida. So that will be the first time that I'll be able to actually put it through its paces properly on a dry golf course in warm conditions. And I'm going to be really interested to see what sort of yardages I'm getting out of this driver. It's going to be, I think I can safely say that I think this is going to be a positive addition to my golf bag this year, because I think this driver is going to keep me in play more than the previous drivers that I've used, and that's all I'm bothered about. I'm not bothered about gaining an extra 10 yards, even if that's possible with drivers now, which I don't think it is. you know, an extra 10 yards isn't going to make any difference to my score, but a driver that is keeping me in play more often is definitely going to make a difference. And I honestly think that this driver could be that difference this year. So yeah, we'll put it through its paces in Florida. Obviously I'll have a lot more golf under my belt when I get there. I've not been playing much at all this winter, and we'll be in proper conditions, so it'll be great to sort of see just how well it performs out there as well. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. And like I say, if you are thinking about a new driver, you will not go far wrong with this bad boy. It's an absolutely astonishing piece of kit. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.